Hello and welcome everyone to episode 193 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good, and I feel like, if not for me, like, there's a lot of people who have been looking forward to us talking about Whole Cake. I feel like for this very episode in particular.
I think so. I was doing a stream recently, and somebody was like getting a sense of like, how far are you for yourself, not necessarily episode wise that's been released, but that you've read and recorded and whatnot. It's like, well, I got up to 895 coming up, and they're like, oh, I can't wait for 895.
Right? Exactly.
There's legit excitement there.
Yeah. Like, of course, it feels like up to this point we had gotten through all the highlights, right? Like, we got through the wedding, we got through Sanji's backstory, we got through Big Mom's backstory, we've got through all of like this just kind of crazy epic raid boss escape sequence stuff. Now is the time to get down and dirty. It's just, get down to brass tacks. It's time for some fighting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So looking forward to that. And it really is just all fighting, but there is more to it than just fighting.
Yeah. And it's not just the fighting. It is, I think, the characterization that comes with it.
Yeah. It's more of a character study in how we get through this.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's what makes it so good.
Oh gosh. It's God. I'm excited to talk about it because it's like there's some interesting psychology going on here. Even more Charlotte famous. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. It feels like, my God, we've had to meet all the Charlotte kids at this point. Nope.
I wonder. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, by the end of this episode, even I'm still like, well, I wonder if somebody's done like a count. Like, if we've met, like the, like first, second, third son or whatever, like 26, 27, 28. Like, has somebody made a list of like which number of, sons and daughters of Big Mom have like we not met yet?
I'm almost positive they have, because One Piece fans are stat masters, especially in Japan.
Yeah. I feel like that has to be an SBS coming in at some point where Oda will be like, oh yeah, by the way.
It would make sense. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, because there's a good bit to cover in terms of that. So chapter 891, They Believe in Me. And time to see what's going on with the with Leo. Now that they have a pirate crew set up, and first things first, time to assist the town in the reconstruction. I can't even do the baby voice. Reconstruction.
Honestly, I love seeing them rebuild Dressrosa after all that it's been through. Like, it is satisfying to just anytime we kind of go back to those moments of seeing them all kind of move forward from what happened. It's really nice. It's really satisfying. And again, it's just, Leo standing on top of a dog is just adorable.
It's very cute. It's like, the smallest, cutest pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh! But we get into the chapter itself, and we begin with just a random island, Wheat Island in Flower Town, and mirrors are just breaking all over, to the point that the people of Totoland are like, how strong is this Luffy guy? He must be. His Mirror World fight against Katakuri is taking this long. And it's because it's presumably that the mirrors are breaking because of their fight, which is nuts.
Yeah. And also that I really like the passage of time in this set. I think is really interesting as we start here as we meet with Baron Tamago, who's late 9:30. So the fight is still going. I don't remember what time it was. I don't remember what time it was last during the last episode, but we're starting here at 9:30 basically.
Mm-hmm. I like that. We've established that some fights in One Piece can go on for a very, very long time. But we've never really seen one. And Luffy had his first that went on for a very long time when it came to Cracker, but we skipped most of that. Katakuri, we're still not seeing all of it, of course, but we get more
yeah.
highlights to see how like it just goes on for this long to
Yeah.
show the stamina of these two men.
Yeah. I think the implication of the passage of time within these 5 chapters, I think, makes sort of what we see, what the parts that we do see, like really, they kind of hit all the more.
Mm-hmm. And we get the return of 2 characters, only for these 2 panels, but enough to stir up a lot of trouble, at least when it comes to Stussy, because she tells Tamago, "Oh, I heard that the tomate box was a gift from the Straw Hats. Yes. Did you realize that was the cause of the blast?" And like, what?
And I love that Morgan's just like, don't do it. You're gonna lower their chances of survival. Like he's clearly rooting for the Straw Hats here.
I think it's probably more interesting to him in terms of news. That's probably why
exactly.
He cares. So it's like,
Yeah, and it's also an interesting thing that despite like they're already, of course, like everybody, all of Big Mom's kids, like they're all out for blood, but they had no idea that the tomate box was them.
It's really building up for Tamago's like, oh crap, these Straw Hats are really a problem to do this much to us. Like, how much did they plan and all that? So
yeah,
he was already talking about that before we knew about the tomate box. So oh my god,
yeah. Oh man.
But we get back into the mirror world and have a new character slowly get introduced. It's like, another day of pristine, cool perfection from Brother Katakuri. It's like, come on, Sniper, get him. And then, but for some reason, he's too fast. He's been trying to shoot Luffy this entire time. He keeps missing. And so because of that, he gets stabbed with a fork.
Yeah. Which I feel like for a setting all about food, I'm kind of surprised it took this long for somebody to get stabbed with a fork.
It does seem like something that would have happened way sooner, but they got this ridiculous design here where it's I have 41 older brothers, 40 of whom selected me for the Best Sistress Award. I am everyone's favorite. On the other hand, Brother Katakuri is the target of admiration for all 38 of his little sisters, not to mention every last little brother. I have many rivals for his attention. Everybody wants to be Brother Katakuri's favorite, but I am the truly favorite sister, the woman who will be king of the little sisters. And this is Charlotte Flambe. I'm going to best... Should that be Flambe? Or is it Flambe? Is it Flambe?
I think it is Flambe. I think that's intentional. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And she's the 33rd daughter, age 15, so she's certainly one of the younger ones. That is a interesting body shape.
She's eggplant shaped.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
and able to spit bubbles.
Yeah, well, interesting. This little note here that is never relevant ever again. That she's the president of the Katakuri fan club and the Suicide Squad captain. Excuse me?
What's the Suicide Squad? Okay. Sure.
Of course, though, I think we sort of understand kind of what the function of this character is very quickly, where, of course, the little background guy's like, we want Katakuri to like us too. It's like, nobody cares about you. But she is here to kind of re-emphasize the perfection that, he must be perfect at all times, kind of further building upon kind of what, oh my goodness.
Brule.
What's her name? Brule.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of what Brule was saying earlier. Just, she'll be very disappointed if he's not perfect.
That's kind of the key part of it. Is like, he must be perfect or I'll be disappointed. Like, it's a indication of just how much pressure Katakuri's under to be that perfection. And
it's interesting too because they're like, I wouldn't say he's struggling. It's just that the other guy's just sticking around. Like, he's lost tons of blood, but he keeps getting back up. So it's just like, Katakuri's that good, but Luffy, he'll always get back up.
Yeah, he's not staying down, and even just from his stance and how he reacts to Katakuri's attacks, it is quite obvious that it feels like he's training. This feels like a training session for him, where he's just like preparing himself, trying to get a sense of where the attack's going to come from, successfully dodging aspects, but also, still missing Katakuri in places and still getting punched in places. He is trying to dodge and take it. And even Katakuri is wondering, why doesn't his light go out in those eyes? He should be gone by now. And traps him in Mochi against the wall. Luffy just knocks down the other side of the wall. And it's just like, Katakuri is also trying to figure him out from another aspect. It's like, I don't understand you. You're even falling to the ground is a source of shame. And Luffy tries to get up, sees the fist coming, immediately rolls back, and is on his back constantly. It's like, no wonder you're frustrated. You tried to stand and I swept you off your feet. You tried a left punch, so I hit your left shoulder. All this. The result is that you're a useless fool who feels nothing but frustration. This is what happens when I can read your actions ahead of time. And it's like, again, this is a man who's trying to be better than me, but allowing himself to show weakness.
Yeah, exactly. Like Luffy is showing the weakness that Katakuri is never allowed to show, and that's what he's just like, I don't understand you, right? Like, and I feel like there was even sort of that back and forth a little bit before they got into the mirror world, where this is kind of like like, I'm the captain of this ship, but only if you could knock me off. Like, really showing, I think, how Luffy kind of views himself as a captain versus how Katakuri is sort of, again, like kind of like from the outside looking in, just like how he's been raised, and how his own siblings see him. It's the complete opposite. The other thing I love too, of course, about this sequence is Luffy is like, he's slowly getting there, right? Like, he's hearing back to Rayleigh's words during their training together in the time skip, and he's like, there's a will to every attack, a presence, don't just strike out blindly. And Katakuri comes in for that big attack, and Luffy is actually able to block it with one of his own, but gets kicked anyway.
Yeah, but, not quite able to do everything, but Katakuri's noticing, he's like, it's infrequent, but he is seeing the same future that I do. And
it's just like, oh god.
It comes down to trying to distract them. It's like, we know all about your plan. Cacao Island at 1 o'clock, but your friends will be crushed before they actually reach the island. They will be greeted by my brother's massive fleet, and the same fate awaits you if you should somehow leave this place. And Luffy's like, I'm going to appear from the mirror anyway. It's like you said.
Yeah, he's like, make it sound like it's bound to happen. And that caught me off guard first, because it's like, oh, is Luffy seeing the future? But I love how Oda twists it on its head at the end of the chapter.
It's too far ahead for it to really be a sense of the future. It's just what.
Yeah, but it's, you don't need to see the future to know what Luffy's going to do. So
yeah. So we actually turn away from the fight to go back to Beijei's ship, and they've done it. They successfully finished the ultimate wedding cake to stop Big Mom looking exactly as it did before, skulls and all.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Remade it. And I love Beijei. And we didn't need to put in any poison. The taste is going to send you to heaven, Big Mom.
I love how all the cooks are just completely conked out, putting slumps over. So glad we finished in time, as in all the regular cooks are just collapsing from the herring cooking. And of course, Sanji has to thank Pudding and Chiffon for all their help. It's like, I guarantee we can save our crew with this cake. And I think now the pressure of making the cakes off, that's when Evil Pudding makes a return. It's like, you sure about that?
Yes.
We made the cake, but if one of your friends are already dead, and then it's not, there's no guarantee that Mama will love the cake. It's a waste of time even taking this to her, Sanji, dear.
Yes.
And Chiffon just yells at her.
Yeah. Well, and it's great too, because it does kind of, it's a good setup for this, because now Sanji gets to be like, whatever the case, I still have to go, and they'll think I'll make the greatest kick ever and use it to stop Big Mom because, and then we cut back to the mirror world, they think I'll beat you and appear in the mirror, this is Luffy saying, because, and then Luffy and Sanji at the same time saying, they believe in me. And I'm just like, yes.
Yeah. It's so
and setting up
perfect.
This scene after, again, all of what's happened so far in this arc, and now we've, I think, just reiterating that absolute trust in each other with the crew it's back. It's never been so back.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it feels like the perfect place to end the chapter, but there's still 2 more pages left where Chopper is trying his best to just hold off Big Mom with his monster form.
And I love Paris Barrow is like, what is that? Are they all monsters over there? It's a great reaction. He's
gonna try to drag Big Mom down to the sea with them. But they're like, we gotta hang in there. Sanjay should be coming any moment now. And Big Mom's like, nah, I'm ready for my cake. And even Ocean Spray's not gonna stop Prometheus at that size. And that's when Nami spots in the distance what we could believe to be Beige's ship, especially because we actually end with Big Mom going, what's that tasty smell? So,
and I love now that we're in the weekly versions. I love now you get to see when One Piece takes a break. So you you had to wait 2 weeks for this cliffhanger.
Looking at a few of them, oh my god! There's so many times where it's going to be off a week. It's going to be off a week. It's like crap.
Yeah. The cadence nowadays, and I feel like it's probably about the same around this time. Is usually like if you get 3 chapters in a row, there's usually a break next.
That seems fair. And I mean, look at
the
amount of characters. Look at the amount of detail. Like there is so much happening.
Yeah, I think it's a fair exchange. keep Oda's health up.
It's pretty impressive. That being said, we do have an SBS. I have to keep an eye on the wiki for this one. And
this is fun too. Because I don't have these up, so this is new to me.
And to be honest, I forgot to read them during my initial read through. It's like, all right, we do talk about the SBS. Let me check on that one. So the first question is, Oda, will you let me marry my son, 3 years old, to one of Big Mom's daughters? Not only would I have the big power at my service, but I would also get a super powerful daughter-in-law. What do you say? Isn't that a great idea? And Oda's like, yeah, don't ask me. Ask Big Mom herself directly. Next.
Nice weave. Nice. Just all right.
Your poor son. Next one is they want to know what Crocodile and Mr. One's favorite and least favorite foods are. He thinks that a boss like Crocodile who likes banana crocodiles wouldn't eat bananas or crocodile meat. And my older sister thinks he dislikes mandarin oranges. But they got into a fight whether it's hard for him to remove his fake hand. And we'll see what happens there. But according to Oda, he likes crocodile meat and tomatoes, but he dislikes ketchup. So he still likes eating crocodile. While Mr. One likes raw ham and dislikes grilled pork, which is weird.
All right. Okay.
He says the fact that he keeps crocodiles as pets doesn't really affect what is difficult for him to eat. When you look at these two, what these two like to eat, they sure seem like an annoying pair to please. I think that's the entire joke.
Isn't that right?
But another one's meant. Final question says, I read the manga and watch the anime and notice that after Luffy uses Gear 4, he not only can't use Haki for 10 minutes, but it also carries the trade-off / risk of being so fatigued that he can't move. However, in 885, he's totally moving normally, right? Why isn't that trade-off there anymore? And Oda says, the trade-off of not being able to move that you're referring to never existed in the first place. If he wanted to move, he could, but couldn't use Haki during that time, he could still run from place to place to hide. In Dressrosa, after using Gear 4th, he coincidentally ran into his allies and supporters so he could preserve his energy while they carried him to the next fight. If those people weren't there, then Luffy would just have had to do his best. So he could have done it on his own, which, to be fair, is not exactly communicated, because it does seem like he's exhausted from it as well.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so much more of I feel like that it's so much more of a better kind of proper build up to have all of like the friends we've met along the way kind of, clearing the path for Luffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works just better that way.
yeah, I agree.
So let's get to chapter 892, Threat Confirmed. And for all their help, Leo's pirates get a present from Dressrosa, their very own ship. And it's adorable and features Usopp in his scary freak out form that took down
Sugar.
So that's pretty good.
And of course they're all enamored.
They love it. It's pretty adorable, and honestly, I think the mushrooms and trees on their ships. It's a pretty sweet pirate ship, even though it's huge for them. But in terms of everybody else, it's that's about a 2 or 3 person seater.
Yeah.
So this has been adorable.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
But yes, we get into the next chapter, or the chapter itself, and the cake's on board. The ship is here. They made it in time and brought it back. And Big Mom immediately is like, "What a delightfully sweet scent!" It's like they can even see in the distance just how big Prometheus is.
Yeah, I love the perspective on that. It's just got like this big 8 ball, this tiny little ship.
And Beijing is prepared, like having his men prepare for battle, while Sanji starts getting all loosey goosey and just calls out, "Nami, I've come to rescue you."
This is look, man. After this whole arc, I think this is great.
Yeah, this he deserves this one. Although my own thought is like, what does Pudding think about this?
That is also true. I love how Nami's like, she can't quite see. It's like, there's somebody at the prow. What is that weird aura? Jinpei's like, whatever it is not hockey.
And Beijing even praises them. It's like, man, it's credit they survived even without the captain. So that's impressive.
Heck yeah.
But they're also like, why is that Beijing ship? What's going on there? And now Sparrow is left with a difficult decision. It's like, okay, they recreated the wedding cake, but Beijing's there. The cake could be poisoned. Should we destroy the cake? No, then we'll have nothing to stop Mama's hunger pangs, and the nation will be destroyed. But if the cake is poisoned and Mama dies, so does the country in our pirate operation. So, what do I do?
What do we do? It's very funny how Paris Sparrow has very quickly just kind of become the peanut gallery here. He's just kind of watching things happen off on the side. He's like, oh God, what do I do?
Because it's his own life at stake, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, you kind of... This is all kind of your fault, man. But I also like that we did kind of come to a deal where, like, all right, Sanji's about to head out. Beijing's crew is going to handle the delivery of the cake. No aggression until Big Mom's eaten her fill and is satisfied. But after she eats, it's all over.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And it's like, that's fine with me. We just wanted to calm Big Mom down, and we've accomplished all we need to. We just need to leave.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
And it's thanks to Pudding that she and Sanji make their way off. And I kind of actually missed the first time around when I read this that Sanji's rolled up in Rabian's folds.
Yeah, he's got to hide a little bit.
A little bit. Can't be seen together. But you got to be fast enough that Pero and Bavaroy do not notice her. So gotta get there. And there's Big Mom saying, "Oh, I found it at last!" And there they go. Here goes Prometheus and Big Mom towards the wedding cake, and it's time to book it. She sees us. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Yep.
We're heading for Liquor Island.
Yeah, which is great because they're basically acting as a little bit of a decoy.
A little bit. But they're not out of danger, but they're also a little bit stronger now because Sanji has properly reunited with everyone. And,
which is, man, the last time Sanji was on the Sunny, it feels like 200 chapters ago.
It's been a while. Like this.
Yeah,
group,
so him landing on the ship and saying, "Yo, I'm back." I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long.
Remember during Dress Roasted, the whole thing, like last thing we saw of them for a while before we caught up on what they did on Zoe, was Sanji like, "Am I okay to attack Big Mom?" "Yeah, go for it." It's like, oh yeah. In retrospect, boy, that was a bad idea.
Bad idea. Yeah. That was. Oh my God, that was like 6:30-ish, I want to say.
I think that might be a little too early. I think it was like 7:30.
Oh, 7:30. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, around there. But yeah, just the fact that Luffy's like, yeah, go ahead and attack her. It's like, looking at what we just been through here.
Yeah,
like, that caused a terrible decision.
Sanji was the wrong character at the wrong time, but like Oda kind of plotting that out even that far back is also just incredible.
Mm-hmm. Oh goodness! But he gets the hug from everybody except for Jinbei. But that's that makes sense. Jinbei's not a huggy type person.
Yeah, well, it's because he gets the hug from Nami, and Nami's like looking at him. She's like about to cry. And of course, that just gets Sanji all heart-eyed, and he's like, "I love you too, Nami." And then Nami just whoop, just goes,
he tries to give a hug, and she just immediately backs up. Oh God! But why? But why was it on Beijei's ship, Sanji? And it looks like they're heading somewhere else. It's like, well, after she eats the cake, Mama's actions will be unpredictable. So they're going to take the cake to a nearby island. But they're bait? Since when did he get so considerate? My guess is he hasn't given up on assassinating her yet. As long as I save this ship, I'm fine with it. If he keeps Mama away, that's perfect. So he's looking at the ship. He's like, whew, she did a number on us. And don't worry.
Or Jinbei taking responsibility.
We would have gotten this far without you, Jinbei, so it's fine.
But then I actually, this would hurt me. Yeah, because Sanji is like, where's Pedro and Carrot? And it's like, oh, we're not going to talk about that yet, are we? No. And so we a little bit of a white lie where Brooke says, they're sleeping. They're exhausted for battle. They're resting inside, both of them. So I'm sure we'll have to come to the truth of that at some point. Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that need to find out about what happened to Pedro.
Yeah. Well, then I was gonna say no. Luffy knows at this point.
Yeah, the only one left here is Sanji. But Sanji. When we get back to the others, they're familiar with Pedro. Yeah. And then of course I believe other minks are going to be helping out with Wano. So they're going to need to find out. So
certainly.
Parasparrow gets a call from Beijei saying, hey, don't worry about Mama's hunger pangs. We'll handle that. She'll eat her fill of cake, and we'll make sure she calms down. He's like, calls her a traitor. He's like, go. And he's like, he takes some of the heat off himself, where he's not exactly on the up and up with being a diversion. It's like, you can go ahead and chase Straw Hat knowing that all is well. Bye.
Man, he's playing him. We've taken advantage of the situation, and we're just all right. And I love that Parasparrow's like, I'm 100% positive he's planning to kill Mama. Like, and he really could have waxed pudding already.
He is. But not in the way that Parasparrow thinks he is.
Yes, exactly. Which the mind games.
And we split the forces where him and Bavaroy are going to be going after Beijei, while Smoothie is going after the Sunny. It's like, oh my God, she finally gets to do something.
I was going to say, you've been waiting this whole time. She's been, the number two, basically.
It's like, it feels wrong to have her set up as one of the Sweet Three Generals and not participate. So
it's been a little. I feel like now that we're most of the way through, it does feel a little bit like. I feel like you had other plans for this character, and you just kind of. It's like, all right,
maybe too much was going on, and it worked better for Parasparrow to be in that role or that degree, that kind of thing. Yeah,
I feel the same way about Germa too. As much as I think it's funny that they ended up being the least important aspect of all of this.
God, I forgot all about them not showing up in this
right.
Set.
Yeah, no hide nor hair. This whole set. So it's just one of those things that's like, I think I'm overall happy with the final result, but like you do kind of see things here and there where you're like, huh. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like maybe for pacing reasons, and I don't know, it makes sense that there is probably a world where this arc was about as long as Dressrosa, but we kind of shaking it out at about 70-ish. I think also feels fair.
Yeah, and keeping the pacing up also makes sense. I mean, it would just bog things down if you got more of those. You got the essentials.
Yeah. I mean. It could just be me, but this arc feels really fast.
It does. I mean,
not in a detrimental way.
Yeah, I've heard that because of the one chapter a week style and the way so many of the cliffhangers end up being for this set. It was a rough read because you want to see that next bit chapter to chapter.
I think a lot of folks who initially read this week to week, and I should contextualize. I was not weekly for any of Whole Cake. I binged it, but for the folks who were week to week, the most common complaint is sort of like the stretch of Big Mom just obsessing over the wedding cake. And she's kind of in and out of consciousness, which I can understand weekly feeling kind of like it is maybe
spinning the wheels.
Yeah, it feels like you're spinning the wheels a little bit. Honestly, even at 5 chapters a week, doesn't bother me at all.
No, I did not notice
I do not care.
No.
Yeah, it feels completely fine to me.
Because something a little bit different is happening each time.
Exactly. Yeah, it is not that Big Mom is ever like the sole focus, and I feel like that's all. I feel like that's kind of how Oda tends to pace things. Is that he tends to have 2 or 3 different little kind of plot lines happening at once, so you're never stuck focusing on one thing for too long. But when you are reading weekly, and then there are break weeks, and I've felt this certainly during Wano, where I was caught up, and some of the later stuff too, where you do sort of. You can feel like you're missing the forest for the trees a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, getting into our smoothie trio, because she and her direct sisters, she seems to be part of a triplet set, because we have smoothie, citron, and cinnamon, and
they're all long legs.
Yeah, and it's like we could have just let us chase them from the start. Give me a pointless runaround. We could have just enjoyed some chocolate and tea. Men are idiots.
Fair enough.
Oh, God. But fun designs on these 3.
Yeah, all great.
Mm-hmm. And so, Nami's panicking right off the bat. It's like, oh, God, they figured us out. They know where we're supposed to meet Luffy at. And it's like, yeah, if I had to guess, Cacau's Island's got a barricade of ships around it by now. So, it seems like they've confirmed us as a rare, true threat to them. This will be the last and biggest obstacle to overcome. Our defeat is certain if we fight a fleet. So, we got to figure out what the heck we're going to be doing here.
Yeah.
And
Derrick, wake up!
And then we got this conversation between Beijing and Chiffon. It's like, are you sure?
Which is great. This? I love this. They're having this conversation all the while Big Mom is looming over them in the background.
And she's just like, this is what it means to repay a life debt. Don't worry. Trust in the cake's flavor. That cook's work was truly incredible. And they just get Beijing's like, that's what I love about your Chiffon. It's like, hell yeah. I love
these guys. best married couple.
Seriously, it's so good. It shows it shows the potential of married couples in manga and what they could let you.
Yeah.
It's obviously we never saw each of them single or anything like. Well, we saw a little bit of Beijing's single, but he was not this interesting when he was single. He became more interesting getting married.
Yeah, I feel like there's that Yeah, again, just it's sort of like that fun dichotomy of being kind of the hard-boiled gangster, but then just like the most doting father.
It's so good, but they're off, and they're going to see what they can do, and the Straw Hats have realized that Smoothie's the one after them now. So how far is it to Cacao Island? A bit over 3 hours. We should be arriving just at the agreed time of 1 o'clock, but we can't begin to guess where and when Luffy will pop out into Cacao. And we can't warn him of danger ahead of time either. So Sanji has a plan, but we don't know that plan.
All right.
Haven't seen that plan.
Yeah.
And we can see Cacao Island in just the sheer amount of ships. Good God.
What I really like about this final stretch is really just like the stakes seem to just keep rising. And even though, we've kind of, for now, we don't have to worry about Big Mom as like the urgent threat, but we still have like these giant fleets of all of her ships of like, it really does feel like when you're in Emperor territory, right? Like there is no escape. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it in some ways the pressure is off because Big Mom has been taken off the table. Mm-hmm. And Perispero and so forth. And they're all together outside of Luffy. So all they have to do is collect Luffy and they're home free. But collecting Luffy is going to be an issue because, as Oven is making sure of, every single mirror is being broken or tossed into the sea outside of this really ornate one in the very center. And all of the Charlotte family is set up all around this mirror.
Yeah, that's one way to trap them, right?
Yep. And if anybody keeps a mirror, that family is going to be executed.
Yeah, they're taking this very seriously.
Mm-hmm. So it's finally time to check back in on Luffy versus Katakuri. And it's pretty much what we've been seeing up to this point. It's like,
Yeah.
stop getting up. How do you expect to win? Meanwhile, oh God, he's getting closer and closer to my color of observation. And, Luffy's starting to really dodge, and he's like, oh gosh, if I don't eliminate him soon, then the unthinkable could happen. And that's when something happens to Luffy that he did not, he's like, what? And Katakuri prepares his Mochi thrust, and Luffy is unable to move fast enough and gets a spear stuck straight in the side of him.
Just like a whole chunk of his chest. And we saw what that Mochi thrust did. Like, it poked a hole in one of those things. So that is painful. And then you just, you get that last little panel of Flampe just laughing it up.
Yep, and that pained expression from Luffy. This is by far the most beat up I think we've ever seen Luffy in a fight.
Yeah, it's certainly in the time skip, and I'm struggling to think of another one from before now. And
he was in rough shape against like Crocodile, but he didn't have the welt over his eye forming.
Oh yeah,
and stuff
true,
like that.
Yeah.
Like he is beaten up. That is the key thing here. So.
Yeah, and it's like it's interesting too now that you've kind of clocked on this is it is a fight for survival, but it is also like, okay, this is a chance for Luffy to kind of learn something new. It's time for him to train, but he's just gotta just go through a whole world of pain,
survive it.
yeah.
Oh gosh, but we'll see what happens there soon, because we do have another SBS for chapter 892, and the first question is, does Semla actually exist? I want to eat it. And yes, it does. It's a Swedish treat. There was this period of time, 4 days before Christmas, where everybody fasted. It's an old tradition. And before they fasted, they ate the aforementioned semla. The tradition in Elbaf is the same as that one, is the one of that place. I've never tried semla either. I really want to eat it. So, fair.
There you go.
Another one asked about a place called Oshimuna Town in Volume 88, which means "Don't be stingy town." Who's the minister of this island? It's like, it may sound strange because of this weird name, but it makes more sense with the island's name. The full name of Oshimuna Town is Oshimuna Town on Kinko Island. The minister is the 15th son, Noisette. He's in charge of the finance in Totoland. So this town means don't be stingy about making delicious foods on this Kinko Island, and that's the gist of it.
Okay.
One thing that we should probably be aware of is the hard to know how the One Piece wiki has a tendency to prefer the Japanese pronunciation and labeling of things. So
lot of term choices I disagree with.
Yeah.
I'll put it politely.
I
politely disagree.
I mean, the one that stands out to me is that it's widely agreed upon that it's Alabasta, and they still insist to put it Arabasta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Just wait until we get to the Levely arc.
Why would you call it that when it's clearly supposed to be reverie?
A reverie is a real word. Stop.
It reminds me of the discussions where it's like people insisted on calling it, what is it, Boku no Academia?
Oh yeah, Boku no Hero. Yeah.
And it's like the author includes in their title the actual English, what it's called, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Call it My Hero Academia.
There's some stuff, and of course, translation is more art than science a lot of times. I'm willing to give leeway on stuff, and there's even, there are not that many but choices that I maybe don't agree with entirely in the official, the Viz translation for One Piece. Of course, Zolo being the one everybody hates. At this point, I don't even see it. But it's just one of those things that. Again, because it's more art than science, I'm willing to there's some things are up to interpretation, and some stuff is just like, you're stupid. I'm sorry.
Fair.
That's you wouldn't use that unless you were just not paying attention. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. The final question for this SBS is, about Charlotte Bavaroy's hat that has net glasses on it. Is it like one of those so-called old so-called mysterious net hats? And Oda's like, yep, you got it right. That's correct. It's from a long time ago when I was a child. All the young boys were wearing these mysterious net hats. Upon looking it up, it appears their correct name is mesh hats. I wonder if those caps can still be found around. Makes me happy you noticed it. They're cool. They're cool, aren't they? So, there you go. We learned about a hat. So
Yeah. You never know what you learn.
No, especially in an SBS. I find it funny that Oda's being kind to us and being less pervy this time around for this set.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A little bit.
All of these are at least a little interesting.
For sure. So let's get to our next chapter, 893, Flampe, 36th daughter of Charlotte. And we get the name of our pirate ship, and it's the Usoland pirate ship.
Oh, that's great. This has weirdly been one of my favorite ones. The stretch with the tontadas. It's been real nice.
Yeah, it accomplishes about as much as the long leg and long arm tribe thing from the last set, but this is more interesting because it's cute.
Yeah,
you get to see that little
exactly.
glimpse of Dressrosa. So
yeah.
And we get into the chapter itself, and Katakuri's like, "Why do you look so hideously miserable?"
Of course, well, Luffy's screaming out in pain, and then Flampe and all of her crew, they're snickering, they're laughing, and they're trying to hold it in. Katakuri is suddenly very angry, very disappointed in Luffy. He's like, "Your foot slipped, you amateur!" And, he comes in to try to block it with Haki, but Katakuri just kicks him 50 feet into a wall.
And Flampe here showing off a bit of a brother complex, is like, "Oh, dear brother, dear brother, it was I who was the one." And it's like, "Oh, you clever little scamp." He's like petting her head.
It's just completely, of course, out of character at this point. And then, of course, I love this attack from Katakuri, because Luffy's like just doing a bunch of backflips trying to dodge. Katakuri, he's got his trident. He's just stabbing into the ground. He's an instant of carelessness can turn the tide of battle. Why did you lose focus? Like he's
pissed,
laying into Luffy. Yeah, he's pissed because he was like, I was having a good time.
This was actually interesting for me, and he goes to finish it off with Mochi Anemone, and he's like, "What's wrong, Straw Hat?" And Luffy is beaten into the ground after that.
No, dude, he's so roughed up. I think
he's lost another tooth. It is just, oh my god!
Get this boy a glass of milk.
Really? He's just, and Katakuri's just like, just when I was starting to admit that you are worthy, you've suddenly shown yourself to be very disappointing. And that's when Luffy has a little bit of a mini flashback to his training with Rayleigh. It's like, maybe that was just my imagination. Nope, imagination is just fine. It is beyond such tricks of the mind that you will find the color of observation. You must learn to sense it subconsciously. And Luffy stands up again after all that. He just will not go down. And Flampe sees this, is like, stood up again. Look at his quaking legs. Let's try it again with this numbing needle once more. And this time, I like the way Luffy just sort of sways out of the way of it. It's like, oh crap, he's going Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah.
I don't know if was this before or during Super. I don't know if Ultra Instinct was a thing yet.
This would have been like 2018, so like very close, like around the same time.
That's weird to think about that Dragon Ball Super was going on during this.
Yeah. I love that Luffy, he Ultra Instincts out of the way, but then he just eats it and falls on the floor.
He's still exhausted. But him falling over is enough to make her just lose it and Katakuri to notice her.
Which is also interesting that he was so locked in that he didn't notice up till now.
That's true. Luffy was, I think, kind of forcing him to be so locked in.
Exactly.
He can't let his guard down. And Flumpei's just like, oh, it's so stupid. He's covered in blood and hideously weak, and he just keeps standing up over and over. You can barely stand on those trembling legs, and he just gets knocked down. Oh, hey, Katakuri's is coming this way. Oh, I'm not ready for him to compliment me yet.
Yeah. Oh, but you could tell from his narration, he's like, oh, I see it was you.
His focus clearly faltered for just a moment in the midst of that heated standoff. I knew something was wrong. That's when I was attacked and gouged his belly, inflicting a fatal blow. But do you really think I want to win that way? And Katakuri is walking closer and closer, and they're like, oh, Luffy stood up again. It's like, oh, don't make me keep laughing. Oh, like just like a little baby deer. And as Katakuri gets closer, she goes in for a hug. It was all me. Aren't I the cutest and most considerate of all your sisters? Nobody in the world is better than my perfect brother, and I am his favorite. And as she goes in for the hug, he just goes, what's so funny? And stabs himself in the side, just like Luffy was hit, splattering his own blood on her face. It makes her go, what?
That's such a great panel, too. After all of the hype that she's just, been for the past couple of chapters, and then just like that really does feel like reality kind of crashing down. And I love this too, because of course we know as the reader, right, that he has that funky little mouth of his, or I guess funky big mouth, and he's still kind of hiding it, but here he comes. He's taken off his scarf, and he says, "When two men are fighting, the last thing I need is some half-hearted assistance." And she's just
freaking out because
rolls back in the wall.
His whole head, like his mouth could totally fit her head inside of it. Yeah. She goes rolling back and she's like, "Oh, don't stay away! Don't touch me, you monster! If you're gonna laugh at that idiot, then laugh at me too." It's like,
yeah,
face, is that a curse? And she's in tears as she's looking at him. She's the big teeth and him gasping from the wound he just gave himself, and all she says is, "You suck."
Right. So how quickly things just turn around.
What a letdown. It's like, gross, you got blood on me. What are you thinking? Why would you stab yourself? You are not the brother Katakuri I know. Look at your gross mouth going all the way to your ears, just like a pelican eel. And
hey, you called it.
She spits on him, actually shows what the pelican eel looks like, and it actually causes her men to start laughing at him.
Yeah, and then of course you get that flashback, and of course Katakuri, he was bullied for it as a child, and you got these kids running away. He's strong as a monster, and he looks like one too. And I feel like that's just enough, right? You understand the life that he has led up to this point, and why
just like Pudding, because Pudding had that that. Okay.
Oh, just that, like, I guess unlike Pudding, though, that he had to project strength, right, and he had to be perfection, and that was sort of his way of dealing with like the trauma.
And she had her own form of perfection, though, because she had to be cute and adorable, and
right? Yeah,
doting, and everybody loves her type thing.
And I think that I really love how many characters in this arc are kind of about like the wall of appearances, right? Kind of coming down, like how you project yourself out to the world versus how versus how you are on the inside, right? And we even I feel like Sanji was such a good character for that too, who I always got it clocked as maybe the most insecure of the Straw Hats. But like it is really cool seeing how, like, we already knew kind of as the reader, like what Katakuri, kind of what his whole deal was, but like that was really kind of a non-factor to Luffy and a non-factor to his fight, right? Like the secret was out and we all just kind of moved on. But now here we have, a Flumpei and her posse who are, they are all just like they're taking
pictures,
photos,
the monsters getting away, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's blackmail.
and that's again shows the corruptive aspect of Big Mom trying to create a place where all people come together. Because even though we have all these variations, long legs, long arms, long necks, every race under the sun except for giants.
Except for giants.
And even still, differences outside of that are not accepted. Big mouths, that whatever had caused Katakuri to have this appearance. Not accepted. The third eye for pudding, not accepted.
Yeah.
It is a complete facade.
Yeah, which is wild when you think about it in Pudding's case, because it's like an extremely important thing in the broader context of the world, right? Of being able to read poneglyphs, potentially. But like, you're still, kids will be kids. Big Mom's not gonna.
Yep, exactly. But she declares it's like, we're going to send these pictures to every member of the fan club, to every island in Toto Land. How dare you splatter your filthy blood on me and threaten the most popular sibling of all? You're not my perfect brother. You're just a gross loser. I'm ashamed to admit I'm related to you. You're going to get it. Both of you are going to get it. And Katakuri just says, sorry about this. I was sloppy. I failed to notice that tiny needle. And Luffy's just like, there's no such as fighting dirty in a battle between pirates. It's my fault for not being able to dodge it. And he just makes Katakuri grin at that. It's like, hell yeah. He's found somebody that does not care what he looks like, can actually stand up to him. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And they both agree. It's like, we're done with these guys. They're not going to be able to stand up anyway.
Yeah. And then they both they have that Supreme King hockey just like clash, and it just knocks everybody out. And it's so sick.
It's satisfying too after he doesn't
after
acknowledge
all of that,
the way he was being mocked or anything like that. The scarf's off. He rips off his jacket. It's just a fight between these two. It's like, I no longer assume that you are inferior to me. That's great, thanks, but I'm still gonna win. And brilliant.
This is when I realized that like this is Luffy kind of giving Katakuri his own freedom in his own way. And you generally think about Luffy giving people the freedom, to people who are like, kind of like suffering under oppression, or like can't, or like don't have the strength. Like Luffy will be that strength for you. So long as you're willing to ask for his help. But it is so it's so almost weird, right? To Luffy to be giving that freedom to his enemy, like to his opponent. And Katakuri's line from it where he says like, I no longer assume you're inferior. Like I don't think any of Luffy's his other opponents have ever seen him as an equal, which is what I think makes this fight really unique.
Oh, it does. It's weird to think about, but yeah, there's no oppressed people that he is helping out. I mean, in this case, it is just, it's only been about Sanji. Like nobody else really got caught up into it. Pudding to a small degree, but she was sort of incidental in how she was helped out by Sanji and given a little bit of love. Chiffon to a degree, but it's not the major sense that we've like this big cast of like needing to be given their freedom. It's much more focused.
certainly not like Alabasta, certainly not like Dressrosa, but this is a very kind of personal version of it. And I think the thing that I love so much about this fight really is the kind of like interpersonal relationship between Luffy and Katakuri, because they both inform each other's like growth and development as characters, and Luffy in a very literal sense, and it's a sort of training for him, but also that Katakuri kind of goes from seeing Luffy as like a pest who needs to be eliminated to like, no, like this is the first time in a while where he gets to let loose and gets to be himself. Exactly.
And it's unique and fun in that way. And it's just a matter of freeing the ones that were not allowed to live their true selves. So, good stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to chapter 894, 1205. And our last little bit for the Tontadas is they got hired to be security for the reverie coming up.
The Reverie.
The Reverie. I can't.
Also, I love that King Riku in the background is in his pajamas.
He is. I was like, oh, okay, sure. But I mean, it's kind of great. The way they can move and hide, that's sort of perfect security.
Yeah, and it's a good setup too.
Yeah, the Reverie is coming up soon.
It's coming.
Oh man. But we start up the 894 itself with training with Rayleigh. How did Luffy get to this point? It's like, no food until you can dodge 100 times, but I'm hungry. Then focus. Is this how it works?
I could see. I would watch 1,000 scenes of them training together.
It'd be a lot of fun. And is the enemy going to stop attacking because you're hungry? There's a will to every attack, a presence. Ooh, I smell something yummy. Ignore that. It's my dinner. And he's like, over there. And he's like, gotcha. He knocks over the food.
Yeah, and when have we ever seen Rayleigh with just that shocked face? And then he gets mad at Luffy and just bonks him on the head. I think with a did he put hockey on?
Yeah, he put hockey on the stick.
Yeah, and I love it. That hurt Rayleigh. I sense rage. That's the hockey too. And he's just, now dodge this. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
But Luffy is sticking to the training because his animal friends are trying to bring animals there while he's blindfolded to him. It's like, if I don't need food, if Rayleigh says I don't get dinner, then I don't get dinner. And his stomach's gurgling. And Rayleigh says they're talking later after he finally did dodge 100 times. Within the confines of the color of observation hockey, you seem especially attuned to the emotions of living things. It's probably unconscious, though. But having that ability means you can sense the actions another person will take. Among the mightiest in the world, you'll find some who can see a little bit into the future. And what do you do if you come across someone like that? 2 years of training isn't going to get you to that level. It'll be tough. And Luffy just says, well, I guess it depends on what they're like. You mean your opponent's personality? I've never even thought about that. You really care? Well, sure I do. You're an odd fellow. You're setting yourself up for a world of pain, but let's train with everything you got.
Dude, that is such an interesting response from Luffy, right? And it makes sense in the context of what we kind of see from, like, I feel like it's kind of referring to this sort of relationship he's built up with Katakuri, right? I feel like. And just in that sense, in that, like, yeah, he is attuned to kind of the emotions of living things, where he has this innate understanding almost. And so
we've been
I love
describing as emotionally and intelligent, and it maybe cheapens it a little bit to attribute that to his hockey, but Luffy still has to have it's so rare to have that intelligence to take a look at what people feel. That Rayleigh even comments like, I've never even thought about that aspect before. Yeah,
exactly, right? Like, you have Rayleigh, who's like a hockey master, and he's just like, that is a completely different perspective than anything I ever would have thought of. And so I kind of like to think of it in the opposite way, where it's that emotional intelligence that is informing his observation hockey.
I like that more.
Because, like, even before he knew what hockey was, that was something innate to Luffy as a person.
True. So fair. I like that explanation way better. So
well, and I love the payoff of it too from that conversation, where, like, Katakuri's coming in for an attack, and you can see Luffy kind of like seeing kind of all of the different fists and all of the kind of different timelines, and he's actually dodging through, like, Katakuri's attacks. Like, Luffy is learning how to see the future.
Yep. But it's not perfect yet, because he goes in for his counterattack. Bam! It gets just straight to the face, and so he blocks again with his arm, and that just sizzles through. Like,
right, it's like, and even though he can see the future, Katakuri's hockey's still stronger.
Luffy has some pretty ugly faces as he's fighting through this.
Yeah, he does. He's like, his eyes are like,
one eye is bulgy, the other one's closed. He looks like a monster.
He does. Yeah, no, man. I really don't. I hadn't thought about that until we started recording. But I was like, yeah, Luffy really hasn't been this roughed up, which, God, it makes this fight feel so desperate.
And then freaking Katakuri is able to, again, they're learning from each other. Katakuri is getting stronger off Luffy. I fully believe that, because I don't think for a second he had burning mochi before he saw Luffy's
Red Hawk.
Red Hawk, yeah.
I didn't even think about that either. He's like, you're totally right.
I love how they're both kind of training in this sense. It gives it such a different feel than anything else. But, Katakuri is still stronger because he sends Luffy flying back through multiple walls. But Luffy took out that one of his arms, and he, of course, gets it back because of the mochi powers. But still.
Right, yeah. But again, it's just Luffy is closing the gap, and I feel like that's what starts to make this so exciting, is that, like, is slowly seeing that development, every little inch that Luffy's able to get off of Katakuri.
And
It
more
is.
importantly, he's doing this without Gear 4.
Oh yes, that is also crucial.
That's the crazy part. Is he's getting himself more and more equal. And I know I'm sorry for the constant Dragon Ball references, but it is reminiscent of Battle of Gods when Goku loses Super Saiyan God and is able to still keep up with Beerus.
Oh yeah.
Just
I feel like
the battle sense has taken over.
Yeah, I do feel like there is something to that though. That like, especially with Gear 4 being kind of, the time limited power up as it is, we are kind of seeing Luffy kind of train like in his base form, right? Like kind of train his hockey fundamentals. So like it is, of course, there's a little more to that we're about to get to, but I think having these sequences is also really important to really kind of contextualize Luffy's like growth.
Agreed. But time to take a look at what's going on with Beige's crew, as it's 10:10 p.m. and they've almost arrived at Liquor Island. That wasn't so hard, and then thanks to those quick paddle repairs, we don't have to worry about them catching up, because Prometheus isn't exactly fast as that size.
He's sweating.
And I forget his name, but it's like, we'll toss the cake onto Liquor Island and make our escape. Good plan. And Chiffon's like, nope, not yet. It's too close to Cacao Island. Let's draw her out further to Fluffy Island. It's like, wait, are you thinking straight? If Mama eats the cake on Liquor Island and regains her wits, she'll still have enough time to go back to chasing Nami's ship. So what if she does? We got to think about ourselves. We can't last that long. And this is how she convinces Beige. Just look at how starved Mama is now. So let's go to Fluffy Island. Exactly. Wait, no, will you listen to me?
No, you got him.
And she truly is emaciated.
Yeah, no, we've never seen Big Mom that thin. It really, again, I think I said this last episode, but it reminds me a lot of Luffy, actually. The way that I guess like her body just slims down if she doesn't eat enough at any given time.
Oh, man. And then we just get this sort of montage of Luffy still fighting Katakuri. It's 10:50. Here it comes again. Turn to port side, Jinbei. And they're dodging all of Smoothie's attacks that she's using with her swords. And apparently she's able to giganticize herself.
Yeah, which I love. It's just like just one little panel. Like, oh yeah, she could do that. All right, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah, that's sort of her ability. But I don't know what that is, but she can do it.
Yeah. All right.
Somehow ringing things out allows her to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a great 10 minutes in the anime. But I do love that, like, I guess the implication that Jinbei, he's been, like, initial D, like, drifting, like, just turning the ship away from Smoothie's attacks all this time.
Yeah, it's thank God for everybody else. And hey, he's even given enough time for Carrot to wake up. So,
yeah.
Sorry as I sleep. And Chopper's like, hey, Carrot, does the same thing happen to Cat Viper and Dogstorm? And she never answers that. It's like, yeah, of course it does, Chopper.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, they even said as such.
Sanji's also away from the ship doing something else with Pudding, which we don't see exactly yet. Instead, we have another cutaway of Luffy and Katakuri fighting. And Katakuri's, every time we step back to them, Katakuri's just kicking or stomping or punching the crap out of Luffy.
Yeah, God, and again, just those close-ups, right? Like, every time we cut away, it's not like, oh man, Luffy, he's toe-to-toe. Like, no, he's still getting just mollywopped.
He is closer.
And the way in which,
so
like, the time keeps passing, 11:08 p.m. It's just like he's been at this, within
hours.
this set of chapters, like multiple hours.
I honestly, like, if it was a villain who looked down on Luffy, you could definitely imagine the line, "Why won't you die?" With this.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, but I also really feel like it's just, Luffy, he's just like rubber, right? Like, he will always get back up, and I feel like we are seeing that pushed to its absolute limit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But we check in on Sanji's like, and he's thanking Pudding. He's like, none of this would be possible without you. And she's like, stop it. Just get back towards the edge, or else they're going to think we're husband and wife. And I love how this little slime guy with her is like, who? Who's going to think that?
Right. And so you can kind of get the implication, like Sanji, he's headed to Cacao Island. He says Luffy's going to show up right between an army and a fleet, and I'm going to save my captain. It's just like, yeah.
And I didn't think about this until you reminded me, like, oh yeah, they exist. I think there's going to be one final reuniting with reunification with Sanji and his family, because we have found out that they're also aware that Cacao Island is the meeting place. They're probably heading there, and I don't know if he's going to earn their respect, but there's going to be a proper goodbye at the very least, and there's going to be they're probably going to help him escape with Luffy one more time. So.
Germa really, I think they do feel like kind of the last missing piece of all of the things that we've been juggling throughout this, past little bit of set, which is even funnier that even then, right? Like, we saw them last set, right? I think.
Yes, we did.
And it was just that cutaway where it's like, oh, the fighting had already been done, and they're like, all right, we're on our way. Yeah. So that was like 7 chapters ago.
We confirmed that they're around and they took out their pursuers. So
yeah, and that they know. So it's just like, all right, they're kind of the last little thing to wrap up.
Tricked them that the German has been wiped out. So.
Mm-hmm.
All good. But we get to 11:36 as everybody's waiting. It's like, man, I can't believe there are so many siblings on Cacao Island. How worried are they about Straw Hat Luffy?
No, we got everybody here.
Yep. Where are your mirrors? Well, we threw them away. Are you serious about this, Brother Oven? And everybody's like, it's like a festival. There's so many people around. So much fun. It's like, this will be over in an hour and a half. Never realized how okay.
Oh, I was just going to say, for the people who are like, what's all this, Brother Oven? I love it. They're the decouplets, the 36 to 40, the sons, and the 30th to 34th daughters.
Oh, it's so funny.
Good God. They don't even get names individually. They're all just, this is 10 of them.
Yep, they're just there. They've got the 33rd son, Raisin, the 35th son, UN, etc.
Yeah, etc. So, wow. I love how one of them seems like he's kind of biscuit-themed, just like a Cracker. I guess that's
yeah, a little bit. Actually, that's Snack, the one who was defeated before. He was like, we actually get to see the Sweet Four member that was defeated by, I want to say it was,
was that BJ? Oh no, was it Kid?
It was Kid, yes. I was like, which one was it?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, Snack here was defeated by Kid. Bounty of 600 million, so nothing to sneeze at.
Hey, not bad. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, hey, go Kid.
And I love this conversation. It's like, okay, we're here. How many foes are at our doorstep? Thousands? Single digits. What? I'm going back to sleep.
Oh yeah, and that's Brownie. He's like, wake me up if anything happens.
And got Jakand here, the 27th daughter, saying, what has become of the esteemed Big Mom name? And I kind of dig Jakand's design. Her face reminds me of, here's a poll. Have you ever seen My Life as a Teenage Robot?
Yes.
One of the bully girls, the little one. There's like the tall one and the little one. She sort of like dressed up as a goth kid, had those sort of the same sort of eyes as Jakand here.
Oh my God! Oh, wow.
Again, I don't know why it came to me all of a sudden, but
I don't know if I've thought about that show in like 20 years. So I'm thinking like
I couldn't tell you the character's name off the top of my head, but it was one of the 2 bully girls.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that art style. Like I can kind of see it.
I think she was voiced by Cree Summer.
Oh my God.
So deep cut. Certain things just stick out in your mind. I swear to God.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I do like how Snack here is like worst generation.
right, yeah, because he's already gotten beat by kids. He's like, oh God, not another one.
But we finally check back in at 12:05 a.m. About 1 hour until the Cacao Island meeting, and Mirror World is in ruins.
Dude, I love this scene so much because at least for me, like it kind of took me a second. Like, just Katakuri is just bellowing out. He's like, "What's wrong, Straw Hat? Is this?" Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. All you've got, and it's like,
wait.
Oh, they're reading the future for each other's.
Of each other's, like, yes, I accept. Yeah. It's time to end this. If you can, I already answered that. This is the end. I know. Gear 4. Snake Man, which I'm like, I saw that, I'm like, the hell? What happened to Bounce Man?
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing too about Tank Man, right? Which is one weird appearance, kind of establishing that Luffy like takes multiple forms for Gear 4. So it's like we had Bounce Man, we had Tank Man, now it's time for Snake Man.
Oh, that's so good. Didn't even consider it. Like, it didn't even register
right.
it was that significantly different from Bounce Man, because his body was still roughly the same
right
shape.
Because he was fat.
Oh, but let's get to it with chapter 895, Luffy the Pirate versus General Katakuri. And now it's time to check in on Hajuden.
Yeah, which is funny because we see from Buggy's perspective. It's like, because I forgot that they were working for Buggy and they just quit.
And they took along the 5 biggest earners. So it's like, oh god,
yeah.
My temp agency.
Also, is that the first time we saw? No, we've seen Buggy's time skip design before.
Yeah, we have.
Because that's when we learned when he was a warlord.
Yeah, and we saw him as a temp agent. I think that's after Dressrosa, because it was like, hey, new bounties around, Straw Hat's back, and here is this, and yeah.
Right, yeah. I think that was on the way to, that maybe after Dressrosa, or like, I think the transition after Zoe, maybe, or something like that. I don't remember.
I don't know how I feel about Buggies. I combined Luffy and Buggy. Time skip design. I think it's a side hair thing. It's a little...
Yeah. I have feelings. I'll wait. We like, once you see him kind of, I think the full body, I think it'll make a little more sense, for better or for worse.
All right, but yes, we begin the chapter itself with Snake Man, and okay, this is the sickest form. This is like, oh, you want a serious version of Luffy?
yeah. Like, I like Bounce Man. It did kind of take me a little bit to get used to, right? Because it's goofy, right? But in a way that's very fitting of Luffy as a character. But Snake Man is like the slimmed down kind of more. It's the sleeker version of, but like he's still huge, but not like, as huge as Bounce Man. Like Snake Man for me is love at first sight. This form is so cool.
Especially the cloud like wreath around his neck. Yes, that's such a good element to it. And,
which, as we kind of see, like, it's actually a consistent part of the design. Actually, like this, like the smoke never leaves.
Yeah,
I'm pointing that out now because it'll be important later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he sends out his fisting. I'm faster, and Katakuri dodges aside, and all of a sudden,
and he's like,
another fish shows up, and he just hits punch again.
Yeah, I love it because he's like, what was that? He's like, all that is enough? Okay. Yeah, and then it's just it's like he's noticing it, like he notices it, but he can't react in time, and he's like, why did it come from the side? And he's like, I'm sure I dodged that. And it's like, this is the first time we have seen Katakuri like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. And not with him being thrown off his guard either. It's like Luffy has broken through his guard and made him genuinely unable to keep up. And that's when we get the reveal. It's like, so what's happening? And he dodged it, and Luffy just curves it around him. It's just like, boing, 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 bam.
Well, if you remember, it's very similar to the attack he used against Doflamingo, and I don't think we've seen that attack since the Doflamingo fight. That was Gum Gum Culverin, where he did of like it was sort of changing directions kind of in midair. But as Katakuri dodges it, and Luffy's just like, after him, Python. I love that he names his arms. But he tries to dodge it, and he says that won't work. Even stretching, it'll accelerate, which like. It's kind of hard to conceptualize in manga format, but as if you see the anime version of this deck, it's basically like with every turn, it
gets
like
faster
multiplies
and faster.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like boom, 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 boom. It accelerates. And so
cool.
we had the Gum Gum Culverin against Doflamingo, and this is the Gum Gum Jet Culverin, which really makes Snake Man really feel like a mix of Gear 2 and 4.
which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's integrating Gear 2 into Gear 4, while Bounce Man integrates Gear 3 into Gear 4. Which is pretty. I love it. I love how versatile Gear 4 is.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot of fun, and again gives value to the form where it's just not like, oh, it's already not as good as we need it to be. He's like, no, I can change it to how I need to be.
It's versatile. Yeah. And I feel like it is sort of just kind of simple. Like Bounce Man's kind of like the bruiser form, like kind of the I was about to say tank, but that's another form. But it feels like the speed versus power kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And
but as you can see, I feel like
he chose power versus Doflamingo, but he needs speed against Katakuri.
Yeah, which is to say, speed, but like he's kind of still overwhelming. Like he's knocked Katakuri back. Like this is, I guess, because it's still Gear 4. It is still, it's still able to break through his defense.
Oh yeah, but as always, this is not a win button, because Katakuri's already quickly figuring it out and counterattacks with his buzz cut mochi, which is just a spiked arm hockey covered like clothesline.
Yeah,
that looks really devastating.
Yeah, and not only that, because he's like swinging Luffy around, he's got him like stuck to it, which I feel like is his way to counter it. Is like, if you're fast, like I'll just make it so that you can't move. And so he's swinging Luffy around and he slams him straight into the ground, and you get that shot of Katakuri with just like these bulging muscles, his eyes are glowing, he's like got the ink and the shadow, like it's
this demonic form out of him. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're really just kind of going at each other with just everything I got. And then this is also another really, it was something I don't think I ever really thought that much of until I reread this chapter for this podcast. Because after that attack, Luffy's like, it hurts. All the pain. I'm so hungry. Katakuri's like, what are you on about? He's like, I'm just saying everything I'm thinking. It feels that much better this way. I'm gonna knock you out, Katakuri. And I think that's when I realized, like, this is like the kind of future sight kind of stuff I think might be a little bit too brainy for Luffy. So he's just like, all this thinking's just too much. So
I have to vocalize.
Exactly. Which I just think is just a great little character moment.
It's also the only time up till now that we've ever seen Luffy's thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
And they're essentially what you'd see him say normally.
Yeah, exactly. But then after that, like, it really is just boom. It is just like hit after hit, counterattack after counterattack. It is that bottom panel
truly down to the last moment where it's just like we're just gonna pummel each other to the brink as much as possible. And man, Luffy coming in with the gum Black Mamba that just it's the Gatling just going all over the place, and Katakuri dodging every bit of it to kick him square in the face.
Oh, and he got that little like spike. It's like, oh, it hurts. Oof, this looks painful.
And Katakuri goes in for his clothesline thing again. It's like, this is the end. It's like, no thanks. And we end off with a clash between Buzzcut Mochi and King Cobra. And we don't know who wins. It's almost perfect.
Final clash.
One Piece will be off next week.
Oh, imagine the cliffhanger. See you in 2 weeks. Oh,
this I also forgot to mention be the end of the fight, though. This has to be.
We're about done. Either way, like, we're back in Gear 4, so we got a time limit anyway, and we have the arc is almost over, right? Like we have only but so many chapters left, so I would be really shocked if the fight's not over next week.
Yeah. And
I also forgot to mention during all of the chaos of that fight of Katakuri's like donut mode.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many great elements to it. It's just, it maintains that same level of silliness that One Piece continues to manage with its fight scenes, where nothing ever comes across as like it's serious, but it's not too serious if you look at it from a visual standpoint. And it's the you can tell that it's a big deal because it's the first chapter we've had of this set where it's just nothing but Luffy versus Katakuri.
Yeah, and that's because we usually have like 2 or 3 cutaways per chapter, right? But like I like that like Oda dedicated this whole chapter just to this fight. And I think here kind of you know, at the end of the set, I think I could say pretty confidently, and I was feeling it already before. This is my favorite fight in the manga. This is straight up my favorite fight, or this is my favorite 1v1. I think if I have to be specific.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. I think I was already feeling it, but like, I think just. You want to talk about pushing Luffy to his limits, finally. We got a little bit of that during Dressrosa, but I feel like there were still... It was basically over once he got Gear 4 off. Like, it was a little more... It was kind of one-sided, right? Like, you know, his hotkey ran out, but once he got it back, it was basically like one shot and it's over. Which is fine, right? I do like that fight quite a bit, but like, I think... This is definitely like Luffy's best fight that we've had in a while, where he really just gets to go all in on a 1v1. And I don't think we really had that. Certainly not with Caesar. Not even really with Hody all that much. And so, like, I think just letting Luffy and Katakuri let loose and having this sort of like narrative play out where they're both kind of developing as characters and as fighters. And while also still being kind of thematically related to the rest of the arc.
Yeah. And so, it's setting up, like, Luffy has to get over this wall that's in front of him.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming very obvious that billion-berry men are going to be very common from now on.
Yeah. And I think that's why I think Katakuri is kind of like the perfect character to put here right now, because now after this, right, you know, presumably we're going after Kaido next, and certainly he's going to have some billion-dollar guys on his crew, and if we're, you know, like there's no sort of like, oh, we're gonna go into Big Mom's territory but kind of not fight her because we're not ready. Like, you can assume going into Wano, right, like Kaido is going to be the end goal, and so I feel like going into this, like, yeah, we've said this a few times, that like taking down Big Mom, I feel like it would feel too early, right?
Yeah, especially for a shorter arc, like
exactly. Yeah,
and it's not the focus. You know, the whole focus is getting Sanji back, getting the Poneglyph, which they've accomplished. So, Wano, the focus has been take down Kaido.
And so I feel like.
And this
in
is
that way, like, this is kind of training for that.
and I said before that I think that the others will have their own fights that will level them up, because I think it's become pretty obvious that they all need to level up to some degree. Although I don't think we've seen we don't think we've seen Sanji or Zoro push their absolute limits yet. So
I don't know if Sanji's had like an extended 1v1 fight.
Not
since
really.
The time skip.
He really hasn't.
Like he fought Virgo for a little bit, and fought Doflamingo for a little bit, but then it's not really. I think those moments are definitely, they're gonna have to come at some point.
Yeah, for sure. So before we end things off, there is an SBS for 895. So, first question is, in 891, Flampe coined the term King of Big Brothers, who turned out to be Katakuri, and among Big Mom's 85 children, who is the King of Big Sisters, King of Little Brothers, and King of Little Sisters? And basically, here's how it goes. So, let's start with what Flampe said in that chapter. It's, boy, they did not translate it. The best Emoto Est award.
Little sister.
Little Sister, yeah. It's something that Flampe selfishly hosts on her own. She is a very, very diligent child, so she passes a survey along to everyone in the family. The final results of each sibling division are out. So let's announce the top three. So, the King of Big Brothers. Number 1, Katakuri. Number 2, Oven. Number 3, Perispero. The King of Big Sisters. Number 1, Smoothie. Number 2, Amande, the one with the wide-brimmed hat. And number 3, Brûlé.
Oh, wow.
Brûlé getting that third.
I like that.
Yeah. And then we have the King of Little Brothers, which are Anglais in 1 and first, Nugo in 2, and Dolce in 3, which they have pictures of them here. They're just like, they're the really young, like 8-year-olds, I'd say. And then the King of Little Sisters, it's number 1, Flampe, number 2, Pudding, and number 3, Anana. and I don't know if I know Anana.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. So there it is. In the first place, the contest is rigged because the number of votes each person can receive isn't equal. The king of younger sister is really just something Flampe does for fun. So there we go. And then we get an explanation on Smoothie growing giant, because they say, hey, I was reading 894 and isn't Smoothie really huge? Why? What kind of power does she have? Also, why is her sword wet in the same chapter? And he says, and Oda says, in the end, I wasn't able to draw why that page was relevant in this arc, but Smoothie ate the Shibo Shibo no Mi, which translates to dehydration human.
Sure.
Sure. Official English name, the ring fruit.
Okay.
So there we go, the ring fruit. She can squeeze the juice out of her enemies and slice them with her sword to pull out all of their water content and to completely dry them out. The water she steals can then be stored in her own body, causing her to increase in size. She can also shoot the water out as an attack, so she's strong. But we don't really get to see it. We get to see her shoot out the water, but she keeps missing because of them dodging in the boat, and we saw her get huge from it. So we saw her abilities, just not getting to really use it, which makes me think, we're never going to get to see her use her abilities.
Yeah. Smoothie, again, really might be the biggest missed opportunity.
Somebody needed to fight Smoothie. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see something in the future, but for now, that is this set, and it feels weird to say that we'll essentially be done next time. Not fully done, but pretty much at that clear. We'll only have about 2 or 3 chapters after that.
We have 1.5 episodes of Whole Cake left.
Weird, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all wraps up. I think to just make some predictions. Katakuri's defeated. Luffy's going to make it through the mirror. Sanji's going to be waiting with the mirror. Germa's going to be there to help out so they can escape with him, so they can all meet up, get on the boat, get the heck out of there. Germa's going to provide a distraction. The only thing I don't know what's going to happen is Big Mom getting her cake. Mm-hmm. What exactly is going to happen there?
What's going to happen there? Yeah. And it really, I think because we have but only so much time left, and we have the objective is kind of right in front of our faces. Mm-hmm. So it is just got to kind of come down to the how. But like, yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see. That's all I can say for now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited to find out, and this is just so much fun. So,
yeah. Dude, like I said, I'm so glad we finally got here. The Luffy versus Katakuri fight, legendary. It is really so good. It is so good.
It's just the sheer length of it, the equality of it. I mean, again, there's a lot of more to the social aspect of it than a typical fight, because typically when we get action-focused chapters, which these very much were, they tend to be shorter. We still went an hour and a half.
Yeah,
for this. So
says a lot. Crap. Yeah, man.
But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 891 to 895 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games in my job, and yeah, that's it. We're in a really interesting spot in the podcast, because we're about to finish an arc, then we're going to start a new arc, and then finish it, and then go on to a new arc, kind of in the span of the next month and a half.
Wild way to end the year, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. We will very soon be in the much talked about, the very long and lengthy Wano arc.
Something I've been hearing about in one form or another in the manga itself since Thriller Bark.
Yes. It's really wild when you think about it, that we're finally going to get there.
Oh boy. But if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DERRICKBITNER to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 895 to 900 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Why are you so gross? Where'd you put the calm, cool, and collected big bro that I love and admire? What the hell has gotten into you, huh?